Hey everyone, my name is Jamie. This is my garage, and today I'm going to be doing a compression test on my 2001 Honda Civic Turbo. I picked up this compression tester kit, Princess Auto. Pretty basic. We're going to see first of all if it works, and second of all what kind of compression numbers I'm making on this car. Quick background, I've never actually tested the compression on this car. I bought the block, I bought the head, I fixed the bent valves that came with the head, put it back together with a fresh head gasket and a fresh timing belt, and the car runs. Now the car's burning a little bit of oil right now, so this is kind of my journey to figure out what's wrong with it. So let's hope the compression is good, because if it isn't, I'm in a lot of trouble. Okay, plugs are out, or coil packs are out. Let's start with cylinder 1. Yeah, we got a lot of oil on that spark plug. I'm not sure where that's coming from, but that's definitely got to get fixed. That's probably the cause of my problem right there. Oh yeah, she's just coated in oil. So that's really bad. Alright, so I got the first plug out. I really need to figure out what's going on with that oil situation. Could just be a gasket maybe. I'll probably have to pull the valve cover to figure that one out. But I'm going to do the compression test anyways, because it really shouldn't affect it. I don't know. We're going to find out. No surprise, the car didn't start because there's no coil packs up there. What do we have for compression? 110, 20, right around 125, 128, and our reading is 8.9 bar. 8.9 bar on the first one. So we'll take it out. Next thing you want to do, we'll take it out, show the camera. On to the next one. Break it loose. The spark plugs are kind of loose. The car's been sitting for a while. I mean, I drove it, I started it, I let it idle and warm up in the barn a little bit while I was troubleshooting some issues. And I drove it on and off the trailer. I moved it into the garage. So it moves under its own power, but something's not right, especially the oil blowing, but at least I'm confident that I see it on the spark plugs. I can troubleshoot it from there. So this plug is very dirty. Looks like I've been running way too rich, which is no surprise considering what I put this car through for the last little while. I'm running these are the infamous NGK BKR 7E-11 that everyone seems to love so much for turbo applications. So again, put the compression tester in, nice and tight, zeroed out, go back into the driver's seat and turn it over. Okay, on this cylinder we have 150. Not looking good for cylinder 1. 150, 10.8 bar. Look at it, it's all oily. I don't know what's causing that. I mean, it smells like gas because I've been cranking the car over. It's probably starting to flood a little bit. But pop the compression tester in and take a look. Oh yeah, I can smell the gas now. Alright. So on this one, just under 11 bar. So very, very similar readings to cylinder 2, which is good. Unfortunately, not so good for cylinder 1, but look at that. We got oil. Not good. This is a very, very bad day. Could just be residual oil from in the hole too. Alright, last one. Okay, so it's wet, but that's actually just fuel on there from me cranking it over. So that one's okay. So if the other tests are any indication, we're going to expect around 10.8 to 11 bar, just over, just under, plus or minus 150 psi. And then we're going to retest number 1. Oh, I just dropped my compression tester. Let's hope it still works. Princess Auto. So we're going to retest number 1 because I just barely hit it when it turned. So there's a possibility that it didn't build up enough compression for the test to be accurate, which is what I'm really, really hopeful of, but somehow I doubt it. Alright, gave her plenty of cranks that time, so really, there's no question. Some background on this block. It's got Wiseco 8.8 to 1 compression pistons. Oh, look at that. Just over 150 psi. It's actually almost 12 bar. So, anyways, in this, Wiseco pistons, K1 rods, ACL race bearings, running a turbo, as you can see, custom intake manifold setup, custom turbo manifold setup. Car, most it's ever pushed was 11 pounds since I put it together, and the car felt pretty good, but there's definitely something going on, so compression test is a good place to start. So now that we've got our numbers, and I'm very satisfied with these numbers, all except cylinder 1. So I mean, we were right around 150. I'm sure if I crank the other ones over, we would see closer to the 11.5 bar that this one's showing. Either way, they say 10% between cylinders, so at 11 bar, you're looking at 1.1 bar difference, so that's all within spec. Obviously, I want it to be exactly the same, but if that's the way the world works, that I can get close, I'm not going to rip apart the block just for less than 10% compression difference. Alright, so we're going to do cylinder 1, attempt number 2. So quick edit after the fact, when I retested cylinder 1, it was giving me right around 12.5 bar, and I'm seeing the exact same thing on cylinder 2 right now. So clearly the first time I went through I didn't do it right, so that's why I kind of wanted to keep the video rolling just to show you guys. Look, compression tester, you really got to crank the car over a couple times, and I would also really recommend you pull your fuel pump relay if you're doing it on a Honda. Anybody that's ever done an engine swap is pretty familiar with it. What you do is, behind the glove box there is, you drop your glove box, and right in behind there's a little box with some fuses and other relays in it. What you want to do is find, I think it's the blue one, you're going to need a pair of pliers, and you pull that out and then start the car. And what that's going to do is that's going to not run your fuel pump, but it's going to get rid of residual fuel pressure in the line. So if you ever have to break your fuel line, you're not going to have a big mess of gasoline everywhere. The BMW guys, when they change injectors, they say just open up the fuel line and deal with the fuel spray. You know, wipe a rag around it. It's okay, but I know my engine bay doesn't show it, but I do try and keep my engine bay clean, and I am kind of concerned about fire hazards, so definitely pull your fuel pump relay, because right now I can smell the gas fumes coming up through the spark plug holes. And we're just gonna do, I redid number 1, I started filming after doing number 2, we're gonna do number 3. Hopefully it's right around 12.5 bar, and number 4 was good. So happy with all of that. Real happy with the compression the car's making. So I know that my bottom end is very strong. It's just an issue somewhere in the head. We are seeing, would you look at that, 12, almost 13 bar. So very happy with that result. Engine very healthy, and that's how you use a compression tester. So thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe. Coming soon, I got a video called "Can You Fit 2 Cars in a 1.5 car garage?" Got a bunch of challenges putting my 2 cars up against each other. A BMW 135i and a 2001 Honda Civic Turbo. Kind of a mismatch, but it's going to be a fun thing. I got DIYs, I got garage tips. It's going to be a great channel, so make sure you subscribe. I got a lot of content planned and coming. Thanks.